Hi, everyone. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. This is A Life Well Spent. My name is Kelly, and on this channel, I'm documenting my financial journey. So I do things, like investing and my monthly budgets. I do weekly transaction videos just to kind of help me stay on track with that. And I'll do a budget wrap up at the end of every month to let you know how I'm spending my money. I find that this is a great way to hold me accountable, and hopefully encourage other folks to do the same with their own budgets. Keep a budget, track all their expenses, and make sure what their plan for their money is matching what they are actually doing with their money. So, today's Saturday, March 30th, and today's video is all about my April budget.
Take I don't even know. I'm on like 7 now. Yeah, it's gonna be the short version. So here we go. Budget for April. I've just been having so many recording issues. It's driving me nuts. Or I finished the video and then there's like a problem with like processing or share, whatever. I don't even know. And here it is. So, income, I am expecting to make around 3,500 this month. I'm not entirely sure. That's a little bit less than usual, but I have changed my payroll contributions to my HSA. So in the past, I've just kind of well, originally when I set my HSA up, my employers put some money in for like the first couple of years and like a different amount every year. So I always had to go down and change how much I was contributing so that I could still contribute the max. And then that kind of got tedious. And the IRS then sort of started upping like how much you could contribute, or the max amount by like $50 and then $50 and $100 and $50. Um, and so again, like going down to HR constantly every year and changing that became tedious. And at this point, at that point, I was like, it's like $50. Like, what? Just put $50 in at the end of the year. Like, that's just the easiest way to do that. Now I don't really have to change much. But given that, my contributions were probably like, maybe I was the 3450 year was probably the last time I actually made a change. And they're now 4150. So that's a significant increase. And I learned, I did not know this at the time, but I have now since learned um, that I'm actually overpaying in some areas by doing it this way. So I knew that even if I put post-tax dollars in my HSA, when I went to put in the money and then did my taxes, that it would still deduct from my federal taxes. What I didn't know was that any other taxes associated, like my Social Security, Medicare, wages, all that kind of stuff, it would be deducted from there when I get paid if it comes out of my check, right? But if it hits my pocket and then goes in, I don't get to deduct that from any of those. So I kind of stepped back and was like, well, wait a minute. I think I need to make that change. So I've made the change. And I've calculated, I don't know off the top of my head, but I think it was about $40 a pay difference. But with that comes different taxes. So I am honestly not sure what that's going to look like. Um, so I figured I would err on the side of caution there. Plus, I don't even know that it's going to actually count for this first paycheck in April because I think it probably should have been done. Um, and I submitted the paper Wednesday, or was it Tuesday? And the person in charge of the business office wasn't there the day I was there. I doubt she was there Thursday because nobody else was in the building. We all would have had to take vacation. I don't know if she did or not, but my assumption is she probably did. So it would not have been done in time, I think, for this pay, which is next week. So all that to say, I'm not really sure what that's going to look like. But I figure it's easier to err on the side of caution here. I'd rather expect 3,500 and get 3,600 than expect 36 and get 35. So, um, My mother's giving me $105. That's pretty standard month to month. We split a cell phone bill. She's on, and I pay it, so she gives me money for that. She gives me money for some of the streaming services that we share, and a contribution to my niece's brokerage account, which just comes out of my account. We put $100 in, 50 of it, each of it for each of us, and so yeah, she just sends it over to me. Mortgage 688.77. That's mortgage. Payment is the, oh God, what's it called? See, I've said this so many stinking times at this point. I'm like, wait, no, I've already said that. Yeah, because I have, but not for this video. It's the principal, the interest, the PMI taxes, all that kind of stuff. Fortunately, I'm going to be able to drop PMI soon. I'm actually already at that 20% threshold. And when I reached out to the bank, they said, well, you can either just wait till November and it will fall off. This was in January on its own. Or you can pay to have an appraisal done, and when it comes back and we show that you have 20% equity, then we'll drop it then. So basically the cost of the appraisal versus the cost of the PMI for the next 10 months, just it's kind of a wash. And it's close enough that like I'm not gonna do it to save me $15, not when it would require me like running around my house and fixing things and making sure other things are clean because I've got somebody in my house inspecting everywhere. Yeah, so not worth it for me. Electric 46.15, natural gas 104.85. The gas will only go down. Electric will go up a little bit when I have to put an air conditioner in. I try to hold out as long as possible. I am going to attempt to make it to June. We'll see. It'll probably be maybe like halfway through May that I'll put the air conditioner in my room. Other than that, I'll probably manage just with keeping the windows open and using fans. I actually don't like air conditioning at all anyway, but it does make it really hard to sleep when it's like stifling, humid, hot. And truthfully, if I could just, if I didn't work in the summer and I could just shift my sleep schedule, I wouldn't really worry about it. But like it almost doesn't get cool enough until about midnight, and I can't be like up 5 hours later to go to work. That's just not going to work out. So I anticipate that this is as low as it will be until probably October. But we shall do our utmost. Natural gas is only going to go down. Typically by April, it's maybe like $60 or $70 in April. So May's bill should look like that. So this is really March's usage, 104.85. Sewer, $63. That is a flat rate. I have a 10-minute timer in the background that's going to go off here in a little bit. Water, I up to $25 because I'm actually dealing with an injury right now to my back and my leg. And it has resulted in like, even right now, I'm kind of like working out some of the muscles. It's all muscular. And I have been taking like really long showers, and I've been taking more baths, which I don't usually take. And I kind of joke that my water bill's a flat rate because I pretty much pay the same every month, but it's not. It's based on like a certain amount of usage. You have to pay a minimum amount and you get so many gallons for that. I'm not really sure what that actually is, nor am I even sure how much I even come close to using it. I rarely ever go over it. So nor do I have any sense of like, if you told me like, oh no, 50 more gallons of water and that's all I have left before I go over my limit, I don't even know how much that is. Like I couldn't say like, ooh, oh my God, if my shower is more than 2 minutes. See, I knew that was going to happen. I'm going to pause here for a second. I've got my dinner on the stove. So I knew what that was going to look like. Anyway, so suffice it to say, like, I don't know how much water that is. So I've just upped it to be on the safe side. I haven't gotten the bill yet, so I won't really know. Garbage, it's not a garbage month. I pay it quarterly. So I think I pay it next month. Internet, $58. I actually got a discount on this. So I was playing, I'm not really sure what made me do it, but I was looking around to see if there were any better deals. And I saw that I normally pay $68. And so I saw that like I could do this thing with a $10 discount. And in order to do it, you had to sign up for auto billing, maybe, where they like pull the money directly out of your account. I don't love that. Truly, that's not I don't like the idea about a company being able to reach into my bank account, take money out, because if they've made a clerical error or something like that, like they say, they put the decimal place in the wrong point and they take 580 when they should have taken 58. Like I'm going to have a heck of a time getting that back, right? Whereas here I have it set up that like my bank sends them the money on the first of every month. So anyway, I signed up and my thinking is that because I pay the bill on the first, I will pay it. And then when they actually bill me and try to take the money, they'll see that I owe zero, so they won't take anything. So we'll see how that goes. I'll get my $10 discount without really ever having to worry about them pulling money out. And yeah, we'll see, because the billing cycle itself ends on like the 11th. I think it runs from like the 12th of one month to the 11th of the next month. And always when I get the bill, it says $0 because it says that I have a credit of $68 and then a charge of $68. So it zeroes out. I'm hoping that that will apply here as well. Cell phone 3662. All things considered, I probably should have checked to make sure that this was still on. That's about what it is usually. Groceries $300. Life insurance $7.50. It's just a term policy. Gas $200. It's funny because I spent the last 2 weeks like just literally sitting at home putting heat on and ice, like rotating it on my all of my injured areas. So I think I got 1 tank of gas last month, which is nuts. I'm trying to think. And one of those was actually a $25 gift card I used. All right, $100 to my niece's brokerage account. Again, 50 from me, 50 from my mother. My brokerage account, $70.83. I realized that once, given the amounts now that we can contribute to a Roth IRA or traditional IRA and an HSA, I realized that I was very close to being able to do $1,000 a month into retirement accounts. Now, a brokerage account isn't a retirement account, but same concept, right? So I decided, you know what, $70.83. I can cut back somewhere and come up with that money. So that actually allows me to put $1,000 a month into something for my future, be it retirement or, I mean, the brokerage fund really is meant to be retirement, but we'll see. So that's pretty exciting. That's all I'm going to be able to contribute for a while. Ideally, that any leftover money at the end of the month will go towards that. But I think that I'm really far behind on some of my money goals, that it's going to be a while until I get to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, that surplus money can go over there. So I'm working on it. We'll see. House and garden, $25, restaurant, $75, fitness, $40.72. That's just basically the why. I could do a gym. But most of the gyms around here, actually none of the gyms around here have a pool, and that's really what I want access to. I want to be able to swim. So I just suck it up and pay more. Personal, $100. Miscellaneous, $50. You always need a miscellaneous category. Never know what comes up. Roth IRA, $500. I should also note that, I mean, if you've been here for a while, you know this, but if you have not been here, I do a zero-based budget, which means before I get paid, every dollar has an assignment of some kind. It has a job to do, whether it is part of my expenses or part of my savings or my investments, what have you. Okay. Moving on down to savings. Nothing is going to my emergency fund because I'm not quite there yet. Those of you who have been here and you've seen my goal video for 2024, aside from maxing out retirement options and things like that, my next goal was to put everything into sinking funds to kind of top them off and I kind of set thresholds basically, and I wanted to have those amounts in there. And then essentially, instead of just contributing to them every single month, it's going to be like, and once it hits the threshold, if I pay something out of it, then I'll replace the money the next month. If it's something I'm not able to just cash flow throughout the month, which is possible. I guess it would depend on what it is. So nothing's in the emergency fund right now. Nothing goes into the medical fund. My subscriptions, my Nittany Lion Club, and my car insurance are all funds that something goes in there every month because they are paid out once a year, twice a year, or different times throughout the year. And so I always put the money in consistently. So that's really never going to change. They're never going to top off. House repair has $1,000 in it. That's how much I want in it. Giving fund, $1,000. So not having to contribute anything to that. Car repair, gift, garden, they all have what I need in there. So the only other two that are getting contributed to are my travel fund and my clothing fund. Now, this is really exciting because on April 2nd, which is a Tuesday, I will do a transfer Tuesday and I will have that topped off. This will actually get me to the $500 that I want to have in that account. So that's really exciting. That will mean the only thing that is left is my travel fund and my emergency fund. So that's pretty exciting. And May is a 3-pay month for me. So actually, come May, I should be able to top that fund, that travel fund off as well and start doing some damage to that emergency fund. And even so, um, even if nothing in my expenses change, that would give me at least $882. And assuming if I actually do 3,600 instead of 3,500, it will give me $982. So almost $1,000 that I will be able to put towards my emergency fund. Then I am to the point where, short of having like something major come up that I have to spend money on, which you never know, I will very, very, very possibly be able to finish that emergency fund by the end of the year. I want to get it to 20,000. Um, and so we're looking at just under $6,500 for that. It was a stretch goal to begin with, just knowing that I had all these other goals, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I will try, but I also don't want to give up like life and experiences and things like that. But we'll see. We will see how it goes.
So that's my April budget. Let me know what you think. Is there something I'm not missing? I did actually already submit my taxes. I did them back in, I don't know, first or second week of February, so got them back pretty quickly. So don't have to worry about anything like that, which is nice. Nothing really special to budget for, which is also nice. Nothing really major coming up in April. I do typically check. I check my I have a kind of a notes tab where I check to see like things I needed to remember. I usually look back at my 2023 budget to see kind of what I spent where. But yeah, all of that. How do you guys budget? Do you budget paper pencil? Are you one of those people? I can't understand how you do it. I need to do a spreadsheet, but then I also realize that not everybody knows how to make a spreadsheet work. Listen, that is what I have on mine is very, very basic. Doesn't use much of anything you can't just Google and figure out, but everybody has their different, like, do you use an app like You Need a Budget or something like that? I tried You Need a Budget once and it seemed way more complicated to me than I probably just don't know how to use it properly. But yeah, it seemed like it was way, 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 way too much, way too challenging. Anyway, if you are still with me, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.